playing with yourself to Fúria.
New album,
Oh, yeah.
Wedding. I was very amazed with the first tune, the first song of that. It's very heavy. I think that you never
did an album that heavy. The whole album's really heavy.
The whole album, yeah. There are some ballads, but it's not ballads like you used to do. But
exactly.
What happened? What's your idea now?
Yeah, I mean, Accident at Birth was like a really good record for me, and really sold a lot of copies worldwide, and everybody was like, oh, sneaked in there under the wire, you know. But it really worked for me, and everybody was like, you know, hey, you know, metal is back, and this is a great record. But when I came to make the new one, I mean, I was talking to Roy, who produced the same as Accident, and we said, well, we've got to make this one heavier, and we've got to make this one, we've got to move this one along a little bit. So we decided to make it heavier, and I was coming up with this concept that the album was going to be about alchemy, and then that just led to even heavier lyrics, and gradually the album just got heavier and heavier and heavier, you know. And then this William Blake guy came along, who I discovered whilst I was doing the research about alchemy, and he's a poet and a painter from a couple of hundred years ago, and I discovered all this epic poetry, and I was like, Jesus, this stuff is really heavy, and it gave it it's like a soul behind the record that turned it into a sort of a really more than just a record, more than just an ordinary album, and that, I think, is what some people pick up on, whether they know it or not, when they listen to the whole album. You probably need 2 or 3 listens before you start understanding what's really going on the whole record, and that's good, because, you know, it's all the best albums are like that, I think. That it.
Oh no, we want to do a heavier album.
We want to do a heavier album, and Roy said he had some ideas for making the guitars really heavy, and what we did was we actually took bass guitar strings and restrung guitars with using the G string off a bass guitar as the E string on a guitar, and then increase all the rest in proportion. And then
any tune,
you tune
a different tune.
You do something with the tuning. I'm not sure what, and then the guitar has to be fixed also, because you have to put new nuts and new bridge and stuff on it.
You have to change everything.
Yeah, yeah. But what you get is this guitar that just sounds unbelievable. It's a monster, you know.
So it was Roy's idea, this guitar.
Yeah, it was Roy's. No, it was Roy's idea. Yeah.
What did Adrian thought about that? Because he's a very classical player.
Yeah. Well, Adrian, we faxed the details to Adrian. It was like one of these you know, model airplane kits, you know, that you send him the instructions. You know, take your guitar first of all, saw this off, do this, do this, and this. And Adrian's like, Jesus Christ,
try that at home.
You know, yeah, try this at home, kids. and he brought 2 guitars out to LA to start, and he loved it. I mean, he took to it straight away. But you need hands of death to play this guitar, because it's the string. It's like it's really strong. You have to be really strong to play it.
So Adrian didn't take part in the composition in this.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean,
you got everything you ready are.
I was writing with Adrian in England, and then I was writing with Roy in LA for 18 years. You know, but I find I go out to LA for like a week, and I write with Roy, and then I come back, and then a couple of weeks later I go out for another week, and then I come back, and in between I write with Adrian.
It's a tiring process, isn't it?
Yeah, but I enjoy it because
a lot of jet lag.
No, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. I can't remember jet lag anymore. It's all just one thing to me, you know. I keep my watch, it's 7:10 in England now.
Oh,
it's always on English time. I was in LA for 3 months, I just kept the whole thing on English time, all the time.
You know, why did you decide to go to LA? Just to meet Roy, or?
No.
Why that?
Well, we did the last album in LA, and it was such a great record. The studios there, you know, they're really good value for money. They have everything that we need, and they have all the old analog equipment.
That's what we want.
That we want, you know. You know, why change the atmosphere? I'm really comfortable with it. It works great. We've made 2 great albums using these studios. If we felt we wanted to change, we would. You know, maybe the next one, I don't know, you know, but it's something, it's nice because it makes the whole thing like a real family thing, a real team. You know, all the engineers, all the same, as accident of birth. So it's like, oh, hi guys, you know, hey, you know, check this out, you know, and we played it and they go, wow, this is really heavy, wow, you know. And I love that, you know.
Has America affected you, influenced you in the music? Because there are many English bands that they go to the United States and they change the style of music, like the code. There are many of them.
Yeah.
What about for yourself?
I don't really think about it, really. I mean, my roots are actually from the very beginnings of what I call, you know, metal. So my roots go back to the first Black Sabbath album and Deep Purple in rock and, you know, Aqualung by Jethro Tull and Arthur Brown and, you know, all that stuff back then, the early 70s. That's when I was a kid. That's when I was, you know, 12, 13 years old. It was right then that those records just came out.
Wasn't called heavy metal by that time.
No, it was progressive. It was progressive rock.
Oh,
it was progressive rock, and then it was progressive heavy rock, and then somebody invented heavy metal, and somebody went, oh yeah, this is heavy metal, you know, okay, fine, duh. But I just go back to those guys, and it's a feeling you get when you're a kid and you listen to your first bands, you know. And all I do is I go back and I say, okay, I want that feeling when I make my new record. I just go back and listen to, you know, the first Sabbath album, and I'm back to being 13 years old.
First one.
Oh, the first one. Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. You know, you looked at the middle of the thing going, wow.
Yeah, that,
you know, like that and stuff, you know. And I used to play it when my parents were out because I used to blow up their, they had this, in the old days, they used to have these pieces of furniture called a stereogram, right?
Wow.
And it was like a fucking couch. It was 6 feet long and about this big, and it had 2 pathetic speakers, you know, and they usually had a drinks cabinet in it, and it had the record player was hidden somewhere. Yeah, inside it. Yeah, and everything. So you'd go in there and you'd like, okay, they're gone, you know. Put the record on, crank the thing up, and these speakers would be going.
And who bought these albums? You bought by yourself?
Oh yeah.
Do you have an older brother?
No.
There are a lot of people that started.
No. It was just me. I mean, I had a younger sister, and she wasn't interested in that stuff.
No, not at all.
She was into horses, you know, like Catherine the Great, you know.
And you knew by the time that you were going to be a singer, or
no,
you were thinking about, maybe I'm gonna.
I don't know what I was thinking back then, but I was just like really fired up by these bands, you know. And I don't know. I used to look up when I used to see gigs. I used to look on stage and go, I want to be up there, you know. I want to be up there doing that. I mean, I wanted to be a drummer, actually.
First of all,
I wanted to be I wanted to be Ian Pace from Deep Purple. I was just he was like God, you know, of drums, you know, for me. And I had this idea that I was going to be like Ian Pace, but with the personality of Keith Moon, right? So I was like, yeah. I mean, I'll be like this big, like crazy guy behind the drums, but I'll be able to play drums really good as well, you know. And then reality came crashing in. I thought, I can't afford a drum kit, and I can't drive a car. So how am I going to get my drums around?
And to rehearse,
yeah. Depression, you know. What am I going to do, you know? And I found out I could sing. So I thought, wow, there's the answer, you know. I can sing.
Who was the first favorite singer? Like Ian Gillan, one of these?
Maybe? Ian Gillan, I think. Ian Gillan and Paul Rodgers. Even though Free. I mean, I can't really. I don't have the same kind of voice like Paul Rodgers. But I used to look, sort of try and look behind the voice, or what was going on in the guy's heart and in his head, and try and say, well, how can I take that part and make that feeling and do it like my way, you know, sort of thing. So yeah, Ian Gillan. Robert Plant a little bit, but his voice is very different to mine, you know. I just, you know, Arthur Brown was...
he took part in the album also.
Yeah, yeah, I asked, that was like...
the crazy world of Arthur Brown,
yeah,
I love that.
He has got the most amazing voice, and I mean, I borrowed a lot of Arthur Brown. Also a few things off lyrically, probably from Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull.